So you're going to start seated today, and you could sit Indian style, or you can sit with a block and sit on it. Ustrasana. So you could take the block the long direction like this. Place it in between your feet. You just want to make sure you're not sitting on your feet. Your feet are pointed straight back. I'm actually going to pivot around so my back is facing you so you can see what I'm doing. And just sit up nice and tall for a second. Have the palms facing open. Let the shoulders draw down the back. Close your eyes for a moment, or just pick a drishti to focus on and just connect. Right, once again, if sitting on the tops of your feet like this is excruciating, just sit crisscross applesauce, or just sit in a position that's more comfortable for you. Just connect to your breath, nice slow inhalation, followed by a nice slow exhalation. Actually try and exhale a little bit more, and then follow it up with a nice smooth inhale and a nice full exhale. And then blink your eyes open, sweep your arms out and up, sweep the arms up towards the sky. So the hands are about shoulder width distance apart, and your drishti, your gaze is just forward. Interlace your hands over the top of your head and press to the insteps of your palms. And just breathe. Just breathe your heart open a little. Feel your wrapping in of your biceps, triceps. Keep your neck nice and neutral, and just fix your eyes and just pause here. So as your arms extend up, the lower half of the body is rooted down. Good. Separate your hands. You're going to bend your left elbow in half. This is how I'm going to turn so you can see better. Because we're going to go to Gomukhasana, arms seated. So it's going to look like this. Use your palm to scoop up your elbow. Right. And my strap is over my shoulder like this, so if I need it. And then the right arm's going to slide up. Now, if your shoulders are really junky and kind of congested, you're not even going to grab anything. You're just going to create the shape. If you need the strap is here, and the strap can help you. If you can interlace your hands, that's great, but don't force it. You want to lean your head back into your left arm. Yeah. Yeah, and just notice, like when you get to this position, what I notice sometimes is my chin juts away from my chest, or the opposite, I start to tuck in. And then as soon as you do that, you can't breathe. So once again, find a position you can hold for a bunch more breaths. And if it's not clasping anything, and if it's more just creating the shape, allow yourself to be with that, okay? So less is more. Feel the sides of your ribs coil in. Stay with it. Good. If you have the strap, just let it go. Unravel the arms back up towards the sky, and then just wrap your left arm now underneath your right. And rather than tugging down with your arms, lift your elbows up to get this nice little stretch to the upper thoracic spine, and just breathe. For some reason, this doesn't feel good for the shoulder or any joint, you can always give yourself just a simple bear hug. Good. Unravel your arms, sweep out and up. Hands are shoulder width distance. Good. Interlace your hands. If you could find the grip that you didn't take, good luck. Press and then flip. And then the biceps, triceps wrap around, the ribs coil in, the lower half of the body is nice and rooted and seated, and you're just growing the upper torso up. So like from your hip points to your armpits, from your armpits to your elbows, and from your elbows to the insteps of your palms. Your neck stays nice and neutral. And just breathe. Just make a connection to just feeling and holding still. Good. Release the hands. Bend your right elbow. So what I like to do is take the instep of my palm and kind of scoop it up like that. Good. And then the left hand reaches up and it slides up the back. So once again, if it doesn't make that connection, use the strap. Right? The strap is great. Or just create the shape. So maybe your hand is like down on your sacrum. That's fine too. Perfect. So half the battle with this stuff is just finding a spot that you know you can hold and breathe and not be in excruciating pain, because that's not what the goal is. Pay attention to the neck alignment. It's almost like you're leaning back into your top arm. Yeah. If you have a strap, just let it go. Sweep the arms out and up, stretch up, and then wrap your left arm underneath your right, or your right arm if you think you mixed it up. The arm that you didn't wrap yet is the way to go. And then lift the elbows up and just feel a nice little stretch to the upper shoulder blades. Draw the lower belly in. Good. Unravel your arms. Take your hands to prayer. Find your way to a tabletop for a moment. The tabletop position. You can keep your strap nearby. And for today's practice, it's good to have the blocks at the top of the mat. Just come to a tabletop position for a second. Set yourself up. So just curl the toes into the mat, sink the spine down and look forward. Exhale, round the spine deeply and look in. Good. Try it again. Inhale, sinking the spine down. Just make this feel good. Exhale, round and look in. One more. Inhale, sinking spine down and looking forward. Exhale, round the spine deeply and look in. Come to flat back, just find neutral. Extend your right leg back. Flex the foot strong, kind of like warrior 3. There's a spiraling of your inner right thigh. Slide your left arm towards the front edge of the mat. This definitely plays with our balance sometimes. Fix your eyes on one spot that's not moving. Sweep the left arm back, pause. Everything you do with patience, bend the knee at the knee crease, pause here. This may be where you stop. If you get hold of your ankle, grab the ankle. It's a gentle movement up and back. Yeah, you're not slamming into your low back. Definitely fix your eyes on something that's not moving here. Good. Release the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Keep the lift of your right leg, plant the left palm down. So you have a 3-legged tabletop here. Lift the left knee up off the ground, come to a 3-legged down dog, just breathe. Plug down through both your hands, hug your left hip in so your right leg is floating into space. Yeah. Come forward to a 3-legged plank, hug your right knee towards your navel, scoop out your belly. Extend your right leg up and back to a 3-legged down dog. This is a little bit of joint mobility this morning. Come forward, hug the knee in. Extend the right leg up and back. One more time, come forward, hug the knee, scoop out the belly. Extend the right leg up and back. Yes. Drop the left knee, 3-legged tabletop. Gotcha. Yeah. Right knee to the floor, tabletop position, pause. See, that worked out just fine. Extend the left leg back, keep the right toes curled into the mat. Extend your right arm forward. So find expression, find length, find space, find breath. Right arm wraps back like you're swimming, left leg bends. I always say, stop here if this is enough for you today. If grabbing the ankle is something that works without feeling like you're taking yourself out of alignment, then give it a whirl. You want to breathe your collarbone and your chest open, fire up your left thigh. Hip points are square towards the ground. Arm and leg stretch in opposite directions, good. Keep the lift of the left leg, right hand comes to the ground. Slowly lift the leg up, 3-legged down dog, breathe. Plug down, feel your outer right hip hug in, let your head just be neutral. Allow yourself to feel. Come forward to plank, hug your left knee in, scoop out the belly. Feel your arms straight up and down. Left leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. Come forward, joint mobility, hug the core, scoop out the belly, look forward with your eyes. Left leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. One more, hug the knee in. Left leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. Lower the left foot, downward facing dog. Find your space on your mat here. Spread your toes wide and then fold. Take up a lot of space this morning. Yeah. Hi, Tracy. I saw your sneaky little box down there. There you go. My mom has beautiful blue skies and probably 80 degrees. It's like a hail, rainstorm, snowstorm going on here. This is kind of wild. It's kind of peaceful. Enjoy it. Roll forward plank. Lead with your heart and chest. Yeah, you got it. Halfway to a push-up, chaturanga, or modify with your knees to the floor, depending on what's going on in your body. Keep looking to the front skinny edge of the mat, though. That's definitely helpful. Lead with your heart and chest for an up dog or baby cobra. I don't know what's going on in your bodies, but listen to it. Mom of the year, yes, press through the feet and the hands, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, one more, roll forward plank. Everyone's vinyasas are a little different. Plank position, you could hold, you could find supported push-up, you could find push-up. Go for it, chaturanga, some version that works for you. Slide yourself through an up dog or baby cobra, depending on what's happening. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, look to the top of the mat. Take 2 big steps to get there this morning, 1, 2, or 20 if you're feeling a little tight. Long spine, weight is forward. Hands can always rest on your shins if reaching the floor is problematic. Weight is forward for everybody. Exhale, fold into yourself, let your head go. Try that again. Inhale, long spine, create some space. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. So you can practice with your feet together or a little separated, you pick. Slide the arms straight up towards the sky, look up with the eyes. Dive over, bend knees forward, fold, let your head just go. Come to the fingertips and prepare, step to plank. When you arrive in plank, know where you're going with this. Halfway to a push-up if you're taking that, or support. Up dog or baby cobra, depending on what you feel in your body and you need. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full, complete exhale, breath out. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float, feeling depending on how you feel. Long spine, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Good work. Hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees forward, fold, let your head fall. Come to the fingertips to set it up. Step. If you feel like you want to float this morning, chaturanga is where you land. If not, you lower, pull yourself through a smooth up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Connect movement with breath. Let your thoughts just drift away. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Long spine, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Arms slide up, anchor. Dive over, bend knees forward, fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step or float through a vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full, complete breath out. Keep your arms straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. One more. Arms slide up. Dive over, bend knees forward, fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips and prepare. Step or float through a vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing. Come forward to plank. Hug your right knee towards your navel. Yeah. Scoop out your belly. Look forward with your eyes. Step your right foot all the way forward and through. So you're in a low lunge, guys. Drop your back knee, but keep it on an angle with your toes curled, okay? Sweep up to a supported lunge. So when I come to this pose, I like to focus on my right foot and my right hip. Gripping it in, make sure the foot is forward. And then that my back leg is getting a nice little subtle stretch. I'm never dumping too much into my lower back, so there's no compression. And my heart and my chest start to get a nice opening. Drop your arms by your side body, clasp the hands. Now, if something's going on and the clasping of the hands sets you off, know that you can always just create the shape. You can also just have your hands on prayer, you pick. But the eyes of the shoulders are getting into the hips, the socket of the shoulders here. So they're opening. Your neck is nice and neutral. Grip your right hip underneath you. And from your left knee, from the ground up, you're going to start to fire it up. So you're coming into this lunge. Yeah. Hands are going to stay bound if possible. Yeah. And you just kind of feel your way through, literally. Grip your right hip in. Back leg is super engaged. Fix your eyes on the snow if you're here in New Jersey. And breathe. Good. So a little different today. Back leg is going to stay where it is. Front leg is going to stay where it is. You're going to start to hinge forward, kind of like a humble warrior. Your stomach is going to rest on your right thigh, or maybe if you want to work a little bit more today, you're going to hover over it. So like a hover an inch or two over it. So if you're feeling a little tired, your stomach can just rest. If you got a little bit more energy, see if you can find enough space. It may even be a half an inch to just hover. But breathe. Grip your right hip in strong. Look forward with your eyes. Find a lot of extension through your spine and your back leg. The blocks are at the top of the mat because we're going to push off to warrior 3 in just a breath, and you may need to reach for them or opt for keeping bound hands. Here we go. Give it a whirl. Push off. A nice bend in your front leg. Left leg lifts. My hands are staying bound behind me. If your balance gets a little off, you can always remove the hands and place them to the floor or blocks. Steer your left thigh down. Lift your heart a little higher than that back leg. Grip the right hip underneath you. Keep the hands bound. Step back to warrior 1. You have to guide your foot back, warrior 1. Do your best. Yep. Keep the legs the way they are. Unravel your arms to the sky, okay? Straighten your right leg on track. You may need to reach for your strap right now. So you're going to throw it over your shoulder. So your right leg is straight, your left leg is straight. Your left arm's going to bend. Your right arm's going to wrap behind you, Gomukhasana arms. We created the shape before. So make Gomukhasana arms or some variation of it. Bend into your right leg, 5 breaths. Sit deep into your front right thigh. Steer your left ribs forward. Yes. Anchor through the outer blade of your back left foot. Grip your right hip underneath you. And connect to the feeling as you hold. Let the strap go. You can just drop it to the floor. Unravel your arms. Look up. Hands to frame your front foot. Step to a plank. Move through a vinyasa or meet me in a downward facing dog. It's up to you. Good. Roll forward plank. Hug your left knee and scoop out the belly. Step your left foot all the way forward and through. Come to your fingertips. Drop your back knee on an angle. And I have my strap and my blocks nearby. Sweep the arms up. Back leg is on a nice angle. Front left hip is hugging in. Left knee is steering forward. You got all the things set up. It's like baking the perfect recipe for cookies. Here we go. Drop the arms down. Interlace the hands. Clasp behind you. Feel the openness of the chest. You can just use a strap. You can just create the shape. Your hands can also be on your hips. Focus on that back leg. Start to lift it softly from the ground. Steer the hips forward. Be here for a few breaths. Draw the lower belly in. My back leg is super strong. My front leg is staying where it is. Start to hinge your torso forward. Pick how much you want to work. Hovering over that front thigh or resting. Gripping those hips in, spine nice and long. Fix your eyes on one spot. Slow transition to a bound warrior 3. Do your best. If you need to remove or add, you do it. Lift the back thigh. I like to pretend to bend a lot into the standing left leg when in fact it's just a little bit of a bend. Steer the right thigh down. Eyes of the shoulders lift. Stay with it. Keep the hands bound. Transition to warrior one. Do your best. Keep the hands bound. Get that back foot planted to the floor. Good. Unravel your arms to the sky. Straighten your left leg. Yes, so both legs are straight and both arms are straight. Bend your right arm in half. Reach behind you. Go Makasana with your right arm towards the sky. Steer your ribs forward. Then bend into your standing left leg. Warrior one with Goma arms. Back foot is planted firm. Right ribs are steering forward. Left hip is gripping in. Settle in here, a few breaths. Take one more juicy breath in. Let the strap go and just sweep your arms up towards the sky. Regular first warrior. Nice work, guys. Hands to frame your front foot. Plank position. Chaturanga. Up dog if you're taking. Hips up and back, downward facing. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet there this morning. Long spine, keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold, let your head go. Sit into chair, weight moves into your heels. Look forward with your eyes. Press up to stand up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. We're going to take 3 sun Bs together. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Sit deep into chair. Dive over, bend knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog is smooth, no jerky motions. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one or crescent, however you're feeling. Hands come down through vinyasa or bag it and just be dog. The left foot steps, the back foot turns, root to rise, come on up. Back down we go, through vinyasa. Upward facing, anchor. Hips up and back is where we meet downward facing. Breathe your hips way up off your shoulders this morning. Anchor through your hands, look where you want to go, step or float. Long spine when you arrive at the top of the mat. Exhale, fold into yourself. Sit deep into chair, weight moves into your heels. Shoot up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, just like that, 2 more. Slide the arms up, sit deep. Dive over bent legs, always let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare, step or float through vinyasa. Up dog opens you. Hips up and back, down dog. Now we're moving and grooving. You guys look good. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Back down we go. We're all a little different. Enjoy it. Up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Come on up. Back down we go. If you're a little slower, it's okay. Upward facing, some of us are a little faster. Downward facing. Breath in. Breath out. Look to the top, step or float your feet there. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit deep chair. Press up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. 1 more for good luck. Arms slide up. Sit deep into chair. Dive over, bend knees, forward fold, let your head go. Great. Long spine sets you up. Step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing pulls you through. Press through your hands. Hips up and back, downward facing. The right foot lands, the back foot turns. Now you're kind of free flowing. Hands come down to frame your front foot through a vinyasa or right to a dog. The left foot lands on your own breath, your own beat. Warrior one. Back down we go through a vinyasa. Downward facing dog is a happy place to be. Now just pause in dog and breathe, 3 breaths. Get yourself together, fix your eyes on something that's not moving, and just be patient. Good. On your next full exhale breath, look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Long spine on an inhale. Exhale, fold into yourself. This time, just root to rise, come all the way up. No chair pose needed. It's a happy day. Hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Have your blocks at the top of the mat. You may need them. You're going to stand on your right leg. Okay. Your right leg's you're going to do the balancing leg. The left leg's going to catch up and you're going to grab around your ankles. This is why we did all the opening of the chest. So it's going to look like this. Okay. So you're standing and you're grabbing, kind of like a golf tennis grip if possible. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you can always use the strap. You can also just do it with one hand or just create the shape. Any of those options work. Okay. Little bend in your right leg always. The eyes of the shoulders move back, and then keeping your hands bound around your left ankle, you're going to start to hinge forward to bound warrior 3. So never think like I need to be so deep in this posture. It's more about the shape that you're creating, the action that you're creating. So think your thighs are close to one another, so you're not opening your hips. Everything is squared off. Your heart is open, more open than the rest of the body. And you're firing up your left thigh and foot. Breathe. Grip your right hip in strong. Maybe you're able to drop your torso down a little bit more. Maybe it's not in the cards for today. I'm kind of right here. This is my sweet spot. Everyone find a spot that they can maintain another few breaths. Keeping your body where it is. Just release your hands and your legs. So now you're in more traditional warrior 3. Now, bring your eyes down to the ground, left hand to your hip, right hand to the block, most likely. Start to open up into half moon. It's a pretty tricky transition, simple transition, but tricky in the fact that you have to grip your right hip a lot underneath you. So if you fall out and you need to reset, join the party. Spread your left arm up. Side ribs long. Right foot forward. Left leg lifting hip height. Stack yourself up. So I'm comfortable here today. If you feel like you want to add in a half bind, that is totally cool. Add it here, but remember that the kick goes behind you, not up towards the sky. So my kick of my foot would be behind me towards my fireplace. Soften behind the right knee, keep gripping the right hip in. A few more breaths. If you fall, just come back and try it again. If you took that bind, just meet us in a regular half moon. You're going to look to the floor. The block may or may not come with you. You're going to transition to triangle. So it's going to be a nice slow step back. Pull up on the front of the right shin and stack yourself up here. Good. So if you need the block can always go to the outside of that foot. Calf area. If not, just find a spot on the front of the shin, pull up like you're moving the pant leggings, and stack yourself up here. Breathe. Side ribs long, feet integrated into the mat, inner and outer thighs hugging tight. Neck is neutral, moving over that front right foot. Do 4 more breaths. Soften the shoulders down the back. Maintain stability and open the chest up a little here. Look to the floor. Circle both hands to frame the front foot. Let the left heel peel around and then just kind of spring forward. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms and just stand for a second. So we'll reset. Have the blocks there. Standing left leg is going to be the leg you're balancing on. Right leg is going to kick up. Take a moment to get hold of that ankle. Maybe use the strap, the towel, maybe just create the shape. The goal is to have the 2 knees together, a nice little bend behind that left leg. So this creates the back bend here. My eyes and my shoulders move back, and I create that back bend. Then I start to tip. into my warrior 3 as I give my left hand, my right leg a little bit of love, kicking up and back. So it's not a king dancer, it's somewhere in the middle. Squeeze the hips in and find balance, find breath. Most important, find stability right here and maintain. Keep the lower half of the body and the upper half of the body exactly where it is. Just release the arm and release the leg, both arms and legs. You have 2 of them, 2 arms and 2 legs. Warrior 3. Look to the floor, hands come to prayer. Transition smooth and slow, half moon. Stack yourself up here. Nice job, guys. Grip your left hip in strong. Lift the right leg as high as that hip. Spark up those toes, stack up the shoulders. If you want to add in the bind, go for it. If not, just stay with this. Breathe. If you added the Chopasana, meet me in a half moon. Transitioning slow triangle pose, may or may not need the block. Pull up on the front of that left shin, stack yourself up. Find the appropriate distance for you. You may need to pull out of it to get back into it. There's no judgment. Let the shoulders slide down the back. Anchor the legs, anchor the feet, and then find some stillness here as you hold. Integrate your abdominal wall, your obliques. Two more. Good. Lead with your top arm. Let that pull you up to a standing position. So your arms are straight, your legs are straight. Bring your hands to your hips for me. Yes. Pivot the toes in. So there's no need for you to turn. I just turned so I'm facing the camera. So from your hip, turn your right toes out. Good. Bend your right thigh down and open up your arms. Warrior 2. You should be facing towards the back edge of the mat. You got it. Close your eyes and breathe here. Warrior 2. Bending deep into the standing right leg. Grip the right hip in strong. And give equal love to both your arms as you spread your collarbone and your chest very open. Stay with it. A couple more breaths. So when I hold the pose, think about breathing and lengthening down towards the tailbone, down towards the floor. Get a little heavier in your legs. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. It's a very subtle movement, just kind of opening up that side body. Come back to warrior 2. Maybe your arm rests on the top of the thigh today. Left arm stretches straight up or up and over. Or if you have a block hand nearby, you can place it to the instep of the foot. Left arm up and over, or moving into a half bind today. Any of these options are great. Arm can just rest on the top of the thigh with the half bind, or hand to the instep of the foot. Lean back a little, open up the collarbone and the chest, and remind yourself that your right hip has to continue the action of gripping under you as your bottom ribs spin open and the crown of the head moves over your front foot. Stay with it here. Breathe. Just you, your breath on the mat, maintaining the pose. Keep the shape of the lower half of the body. Unravel the top arm towards the sky. Top arm, top leg. Bring the block with you if you know you're going to need it. Pull up warrior 2. Straighten the right leg on track. Bring your hands to your hips. Pivot the toes in. If you only have one block, you can shift it over. You know you're going to need it. Pivot the left toes out. You're now facing the front edge of the mat. Sit deep, warrior two. The left leg sitting heavy into that front thigh, back leg on a nice little angle, collarbone and chest nice and open. Lengthening the tailbone, finding your breath right here and just holding before we move on. Wrap the inner left thigh open, flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Yeah, find the space that you need. Rest your top left arm on the top of the left thigh, modified extended side angle. The right arm reaches up, can wrap up and forward. You can slide your hand out on the instep for the full block version. Wrap up, right arm can stretch straight up, or can come to your hip, or can wrap behind for a half bind. Grip the left hip underneath you, turn the collarbone and the chest open. I like to look off the top shoulder up towards the sky. That's going to give you the correct positioning for the neck. And now it gets juicy, you get to breathe. Grip the left hip underneath you, turn those ribs, and get in there. Stay for a drop longer. If you're here in New Jersey, you're not going anywhere anyways. Breathe. Top arm unravels. Use the strength of that top arm. Pull you up, warrior two. We got good stuff going on. Look forward with your eyes. Take it to the floor. Move through vinyasa here. Make it feel good. Upward facing dog. Point your toes. Good work. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Keep the blocks to the top of the mat. Step your right foot forward. Crescent lunge. Come on up. Good, like we did earlier, but a little different. Drop your arms alongside your body. You're going to push off warrior three, okay? Warrior three. Grip your right hip underneath you. Flex the left toe strong. Slide your hands to prayer. Take a block underneath your left hand, left shoulder area. Right hand to the flat part of your back. We're moving into revolved Ardha Chandrasana, okay? Looking sideways or looking up, depending on you. Lifting from your inner left thigh. Stacking yourself up here. If you feel kind of bendy today, kick your left leg, bend it in half, reach with your right hand. You can fire it up for the bound version of this. Looking sideways, looking up as you kick up and back. Keep hugging your right hip underneath you. You got it. Breathe. If you took the bind, release the bind so you're in a regular version of revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Look to the floor, right hand comes down. Step the feet together, sit into chair. You knew that was coming. Slide your hands to prayer, inhale your breath. Hook the elbow, turn towards the right. I've been taking chair with my feet separated, hips width distance. I find it's a lot less compressive on that lower spine, but you play with it and see what feels good. It looks great, guys. Watch that the two knees stay lined up. Nice, Rima. Get heavy in the lower half of the body. If you feel you have the nice openness of your chest, you're welcome to open up your arms or just be happy with what you got. So don't bend, Steph, just stay upright. Yeah. Just stay straight up and down. Yep. Good, pull around to chair, guys. So you're gonna focus on your left leg because you're gonna press to stand, hugging your right leg up, just like this 90-degree angle. Arms are straight up and down, right leg's at a 90-degree angle. Wrap your right thigh around your left thigh. If the foot doesn't get all the way around, that's fine. Sit your seat nice and low like chair, and then wrap your right arm under for eagle. You have to drop a lot of weight back into the standing left heel. Yeah, steer your hips forward. Squeeze down the center line of the body. Stay with it here. Keep the lower half of the body super tight, just unravel your arms. You're gonna step back to crescent lunge. Yep, on the left side. So just do it the best you can, you feel your way through. Crescent lunge on the left side. Drop your arms alongside your body, tip forward with your torso, press off warrior three. Trying to make the transition as smooth as possible. I like a little bend behind the left leg. Steer the right thigh down, lift the heart a little higher. Now you know where you're going, so make the transition as smooth as possible into revolved Ardha Chandrasana, the right hand down, the left arm can peel open, or the hand to the flat part of your back. If the right leg feels a little jammed up, play around with pointing your toes. Lift from the inner thigh. If you feel super bendy today, bend at your knee crease, grab your ankle. For the bind, you can kick up and back. The trick here is you have to bend behind your left leg. Grip the left hip in, look sideways, look up. Stay with it. If you took that bind, release into regular revolved Ardha. Look to the floor, left hand comes down. Slide your feet together or a little separated, sit into chair. Slide your hands to prayer, inhale that breath, hook the elbow and twist. Watch that the right knee doesn't slide past your left. Get in there. If you can open up your arms, that's great. If not, just stay. Heavy in your heels. Spine nice and long. Drishti looking sideways, maybe looking up. Stay with it. Heavy in your legs, chair pose. Really sit in chair. Put the attention on the right leg because you're going to shoot up to stand up with your arms straight up, with your left leg just drifting up to a 90-degree angle. Find your balance, find your breath. Wrap your left thigh around your right, sit into your chair, and then wrap your left arm underneath your right. Make this work for you. Heavy in that standing right leg. Squeezing those legs down the center of the body. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving. Good, keep the legs nice and tight, just unravel your arms. Press to stand and extend your left leg back, crescent lunge on the right side. Yeah, right side crescent lunge. Perfect. Hands to frame your front foot. Scoot your back foot in enough that you have about a 3-foot stance, like a short warrior one. Bring your hands to your hips, come halfway up, come the rest of the way up. Good. Let's take twisting triangle here. It's similar to revolved Ardha, but a little bit more grounding. Right hand on your hip, left arm extends up, come halfway down. I like to manually steer my right hip back, and then I find my way into the pose that way. The hand goes to the block, the shin. You can pick what direction this works for you. Right hand to the flat part of your back as you find your way open here. It's a tremendous amount of hamstring, but your hips are squeezing in and they're sliding towards the back skinny edge of the mat as you stack yourself up. Two more breaths, stay with it. Look to the floor, place both hands down and just fold. Just fold over your right leg. Good, come to the fingertips, long spine. Just step to a down dog for me. Just step back, down dog. If you want to move through a vinyasa, that's fine. If not, just glide your left foot forward. Come up first, crescent lunge for a second. Yeah, I just like to be consistent. First come crescent lunge, let your body get nice and upright. And then bring the hands down, step that back foot in, hands to your hips, and pull yourself up, okay? Here we go. You're gonna bring your left hand to your hip, your right arm up towards the sky. Inhale the breath, come halfway. I like to physically move my hip back because I know I have the tendency to bring it forward. And then I set up here for a great twisting triangle. It should feel pretty good getting into this. We've done a lot of work Opening up our body, stack ourselves up here and twist open. If the left arm isn't seamlessly moving towards the sky, simply just have it here on the flat part of your back. There's no stressing in your yoga practice. You just go where your body feels good and is happily aligned. Steer the hips back, side ribs long, anchor, and twist open. Pay attention to your bottom shoulder. I know for me, my shoulder likes to rotate in. Yeah, so stack it up nicely. 2 more breaths. Good. And the next sharp exhale, just fold over your left leg, let it go. Just let it go. Good. Plant the hands down, step to a dog. But in this down dog, drop to your forearms for dolphin, which is a nice thing to do, is to take the block the long direction and hug the block in between the 2 hands. It gives you a good indication that like you're set up properly. And then lift your hips up nice and high into dolphin this way. The trick with dolphin is to tighten up the stance. Yeah. See how you're all doing with that. Good. For some reason, this does not work for you today. You can just split the legs apart and hang down the center in a wide straddle. If you're able to lift one leg up independently, do that. If you're able to go up, nice, Katie, in a full pincha, this would be the time to bring yourself upside down. Do not stress if this is not in your practice. You can just breathe one leg up, then lower that leg and the other leg up. If none of these options work for you, wide straddle, hang down the center. I'm demonstrating it here. Don't look while you're in the pose. If you need to come out and you need an alternative, this is how we do it. Give it a few more breaths. Yep. If you went up, see if you can split your legs apart. Doesn't always work that way. And let's meet down child's pose. Child's pose. We didn't take child's pose yet today. So just take child's pose, take 3 good solid breaths. Let your body, your mind, your breath just come back. Nice work, guys. Hang with it. Just a little bit more work today. We're almost there. Press up onto your hands and your feet for down dog. When you get to down dog, slide your feet together. Lean on your right hand for Vashisthasana side plank. If you'd like to modify side plank today, drop your bottom right knee down to the ground and do it such as this. Any variation of side plank is welcomed. You can catch the ankle for Chopasana. Supported or not supported, you could take tree pose. You could stagger your feet. Just find a variation of Vashisthasana side plank that you could maintain. A few more breaths, gripping your right hip underneath you, stacking yourself up. Let go of any variations that you added in. Plank position, roll right to the other side and set yourself up for side plank on this side. Modified is a great way to take it. Yes. Top arm can sweep up and forward. That actually works the core a little bit more. From bottom hip to top hip, you press up. Nice, Tracy. That looks good. Looks really good. Plank position. Let's take a slow push up, lower halfway. Pull yourself through a nice smooth up dog, point your toes. Everyone's smiling, we're happy. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, this is what I want to do. Slide your right knee forward for a half pigeon. Half pigeon. Okay, Steph, that's not going to happen for you today. Half pigeon, you can go ankle to knee on your back. Yeah, and if you're near a wall, that foot that's floating in the air, that looks like your left foot, you could actually press it up against the wall. That's going to give you a little bit more support with the knee, and you won't go too deep. Half pigeon pose. So we did that early bind. So I want to offer this. This isn't for everybody. It's just for some of us. Sometimes it's good to try. So keep the right leg where it is and pull your torso up. Bend your left leg up. You're going to reach behind you. I'm actually not a great example of this because my hip flexors are pretty tight, but you see how my foot slides into the crease of my elbow? Good. Then the top arm's going to reach up, and it's kind of like Gomukhasana. You're going to spin your ribs forward. You may not get this full bind, so your hand may need to stay towards the outside of your right hip, and you may just take the half bind. But if you can get your right arm up and you can clasp your hands, you kind of lean your head back a little, your chest open. It's half pigeon with the Gomukhasana arms. You got it. Breathe. So wherever you are, maybe you're just choosing to stay in that half pigeon and you're like, she's crazy. I'm just going to breathe and be happy. But it's nice to try different ways to kind of open up our bodies. Good. If you took that funky bind, release it. Just release everything. Plant the hands and step to a dog. Just shake out your legs a little and then switch sides. The left leg sweeps forward. Yeah. Or you could just come down and do it, switch it. And fold first into regular half pigeon before we move on. Yeah. First take that. Enjoy that. Good. Then you think you want to add on, pull your torso up. I brought my block nearby because sometimes if your arm's short, this could help. That kick your right leg up. So you may grab from the outside, just stay like this and just stay really supported with your chest open. This is one way to take it where you're not going too deep. Good. If you're able to get your foot kind of in the crease of your arm, you have to continue to turn your ribs forward. So I know for myself, this is a good spot to stop. Like I'm feeling a lot, but in a good way. If I had that range of motion and my left arm could go up and I could wrap, that's where I would go. But you know, you take what you can get. The biggest thing is that we've created this nice open chest during the practice. We don't want to collapse now. We want to keep everything nice and open. Just a few more breaths. Stay with it. Good. Let go of that bind. Plant your hands to the floor and sweep your right leg around. Take the feet flat. If you know you use block for bridge, bring it with you. Lay down. Lift your hips up. I like robot arms to start and then lengthen the tailbone, or you can clasp the hands for the first set of bridge. Anchor your feet. Good. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Keep steering your feet forward. Yeah. And then maybe you want to slide a block underneath there if you want to hang out a little longer, or maybe you want to reset and you're ready to go for a full wheel. Everybody's bodies are different. Everyone feels different things. If you're going to go up into full wheel here, flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest and bring yourself up. If you're happy in the supported version of this or the basic version, stay for 5 more breaths. Everyone steer their feet forward, their thighs forward, and the length, either which way you take it, works from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. Lift 1 inch higher. Exhale your breath. When you've had enough, you can come down with control. When your tailbone meets the floor, hug your knees in towards your chest. Give them a big squeeze in. And then reach for the outer blades of your feet for happy baby. Pull the knees down around the rib cage. Good. We're almost done. Stay with me. Good. And then slide your left leg all the way forward towards the front edge of the mat. And hug your right knee in towards your chest. Give it a good squeeze. Then lift your eyeballs up to your right kneecap. Reach your arms forward. So just like this. Then float the left calf. Now, if neck is an issue, Sometimes it's good to just create a little bit of support. Your head can always rest on the block or your hands behind your head. But ideally what we're working here is our abdominal wall. My right knee is hugging in, my arms are driving forward, and my left calf is lifted from the ground. My lower back is spreading, my core is strong. My shoulders are lifted. I'm going to keep all that. I'm going to extend my right leg up towards the sky, and I'm going to scoop out my belly and lift a little higher. I'm going to lower my right foot to meet my left, so everything hovers like a low Ardha Navasana. I'm going to lower my right leg to the ground and hug my left knee in. I'm going to give it a good squeeze. I'm going to lift my shoulders and draw myself up again and float my right calf. So I'm in that version where I'm kind of hovering knee to navel. Scooping out the belly, finding a way to make this work so it's isometric for you. Lower back spreads, belly works. Left leg extends up. A scissoring of my legs, a driving of my arms forward. My belly is working here. Lowering my left foot to meet my right, I'm hovering. My arms are driving forward, my feet are hovering, my lower back spreads. I'm lifting my leg up towards the sky, reaching the arms forward, holding here. Maybe letting the arms drift, lifting the shoulder blades, maintaining a nice strong core for 5. Try and reach for the toes of the lower back spreads for 4. Breath is strong for 3. For 2, hug the knees in, drop them over to the right, upper body to the left, simple twist. At this point, I don't need that block under my head. Come up through center, swing the hips a little to the right, legs drop to the left, simple twist to the left. Good, roll up to center, one last squeeze in. Set up for Shavasana, complete rest. This is the best part of the practice. Put a bath rub, put a towel on, cover yourself, turn off the lights, dim the lights, quiet right here. Draw a full deep breath in through your nose and a loud, complete exhale breath out through your mouth. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Draw your knees to your chest in your own way. Sit up in seated position, kind of how we started, but taking out all the arm variations. Sit up nice and tall. Let the shoulders draw down the back. So at the end of the practice, it's really important to just feel like you can sit within yourself for a moment or two. Hands to prayer, bow your head. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Awesome practice, guys. We'll hit this up again on Friday at 9:30. I'm in person tomorrow if you're interested. See you soon.